Good morning, everybody. I hope that you guys are all having an absolutely wonderful day. Let me see if I can stand here where there's a little bit more light. Yeah, it's too dark. Too dark over there. I don't want to stand directly in the sunlight because that's like blinding. But anyway, happy Friday. Today is Friday, Friday the 20th of November. And because invariably hey, how are you, super pishy? Because invariably somebody asks me where I live. And the cool thing about Periscopes is they always show you where the person's broadcasting from, as long as I always turn that on. But anyway, I live in Richmond, Virginia. Yesterday it was 75 degrees here. Right now it's 42, and it's only going to go up to, I think, 53, and then the high tomorrow is only going to be like 38 degrees. So autumn has officially set in, which is great because it's supposed to be that cold during this time of November. I want to talk to you about something that's really, really important, and it's come up recently in a book that I was reading, and we talked a little bit about it during my my retreat in Hawaii over this past weekend. And it's this idea of positive thinking. Hey, thank you for the hearts. I love that. I really appreciate that. I love all of you. And one of the things that I have to be aware of is, throughout social media, I love all of you on Periscope. I've got, well over 10,000 of you follow me on Periscope, which is just fantastic. So my heart goes out to you for all of the love and support. And, over 400,000 people follow me on Twitter. And many, many people tell me every day about how much they love my positivity, that all of my tweets are positive. Hey, brother Courtwright, love you, man. Everybody says, how positive I am. And, and I did an interview with my buddy Chris Lacurdo a while ago, and he introduced me as one of the most positive people he's ever met. And I certainly wasn't like that several years ago. I did radically change my life. I radically changed my thinking. I radically changed my self-talk from one of constant negativity, constantly beating myself up for my mistakes, my shortcomings, my perceived inadequacies. And I started having a positive self-talk and thinking about myself positively and thinking about other people positively. Okay? But I want to share something with you that is really important. I am all about positive thinking, but positivity isn't always positive, especially if you're using it to hide from something or to deny a truth. We see this, there are caricatures of this, and sometimes we do this within our lives. If the caricature is, somebody comes up to tell you bad news or something, but you're Mr. or Mrs. Positive Thinking, and so you don't think any negative thoughts, and so you sort of put your fingers in your ear and you go, la, 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 I can't hear you, I don't want to hear anything negative, I'm only thinking positive thoughts, let me go back into my happy place. Well, that's not helpful, you see, because the truth is always going to be the truth. Now, truth can be a positive experience, and trust me, I am all about affirmations. I am all about saying positive things to ourselves and to other people and to you. So when I say I love you, it's because I really do. I really do. But in a book that I read recently and in a personal experience recently, the subject of positivity and how we can sometimes use positivity to avoid pain or not address the truth has come up. And so an example from this book that I read called Allowing by Holly Rice, she uses an example of, and this is one of her actual clients who wrote this story to her, that she was on a vacation with her husband. And I don't know where the kids were, but there was a conversation between her and her husband was sharing some difficult information with her about their son. And she realized, because she was involved in, she was in positive thinking and trying to always say positive things, that her natural inclination was to shove that truth away, to not hear the difficulties that her son was going through, not hear the truth that her husband was sharing with her, that her natural inclination was to just think positive thoughts. Oh, everything's going to work out fine. It's all going to be great. But then she realized that when she was doing that she recognized that she was pushing something down, that she was using positivity as an avoidance mechanism to avoid the truth. And instead of pushing it away, she realized, see, all of the feelings that we have want to be expressed. They want to come up and say, hi, just acknowledge me. Acknowledge that I exist. I'm a feeling. It's within me. Don't deny me. And when you allow your feelings to communicate with you and feel them and address them for the truth that they are, they will move on. They will set you free. We absolutely need to process our feelings, and that's what this is about. And so what she allowed herself to do was say, okay, by denying this truth about my son, what feeling am I trying to avoid? And the feeling that she discovered she was trying to avoid was a feeling of being a failure as a mom. She discovered that she didn't want to hear anything negative about her children because that would be evidence that she had failed as a mom. But this feeling needed to come up, and as long as she would push it down and not let it express herself, the more and more she struggled with it. So by allowing herself to process that feeling and allow it to express herself and realize that it's just a truth, it's an idea. This feeling of being a failure as a mom was a feeling she created. Okay? And when she realized this and just allowed it to express itself and try to figure out, where did this come from? And she described in the book that this process only took a couple minutes. This wasn't like something she had to go away for hours and meditate about. But what she came up with was that, you know what? People have struggles. I'm not perfect. But that does not mean that I'm a failure as a mother. My children love me. There is ample evidence in my life to support the fact that I am a success as a mother. And so while that ultimately got around to positive self-talk, it came about by not just using positive self-talk, by saying, I'm a great mom, everything's perfect with my kids. She was denying the feeling that was welling up within inside her. And this has happened to me recently. A very good friend of mine confronted me with a truth, with a limiting belief that I express. Again, not intentionally. And I didn't realize that I really had this limiting belief. But she spoke to me about it, and she called me out on it. And she called me out in a spirit of love, because she loved me enough to want me to let go of this and to acknowledge it. And there was a period in my life where I would have just gone, la, 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 I don't want to hear that, I don't want to hear it, I just want to be Mr. Positivity, everything's good. But I allowed it to well up, and I allowed myself to say, is there truth? Is there truth in what she's saying to me? And there was. There was truth. And so when I allowed myself to explore that truth and dive into it and allow it to just come up, see, these feelings, these truths just want to be expressed. They want to be acknowledged. And we're the ones who push them down, and that's why we keep wrestling with them over and over and over again. So by allowing ourselves to feel the truth and recognize it for what it is, process it, and then determine, how can we release it? How can we grow from this? Okay? it ultimately becomes a positive experience. So that's the message that I want to share with you today. I am all about positive feelings. I love that, Bill. Release, feel, and be free. Absolutely. And so thank you. Positivity is a form of denial. Wow. Yeah, So again, I'm all about positivity. I would rather tell myself a story of love and goodness and how great I am, but not as a way of hiding from reality, okay? As a way of acknowledging the truth, cultivating it, allowing it to grow and bloom, and recognizing that maybe the feelings are from a limiting belief. Maybe the feelings that we feel are true, but very often the feelings that we are feeling originated from a lie that we told ourselves about I'm not good enough. And so just by saying, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, that's not a helpful reprogramming, a restoring process. So use positivity. Tell yourself a story in which you are the hero of your life, not the victim in your life. But don't do it in a way that is a way of avoiding the feelings, avoiding the pain. Address the pain. If you need to cry, cry. Nobody has died from crying. And every time I cry, I probably cry more than any man I know. And more than many ladies that I know. I cry all the time because I'm trying to get down to the truth of who I really am. I wanted to hide from the real Bruce because I didn't know that I would like the real Bruce. But as I've stripped away the layers and layers of masks that I've worn, I love the real Bruce that I'm finding, but I've had to dig through some real pain to get there. Some real pain. And so by crying, by allowing the truth to express itself, it blooms, it grows, and it becomes something beautiful. So use positivity, use beautiful thoughts as a way to support and nurture truth, not as a way to deny it. I hope you all have an amazingly beautiful, beautiful Friday. I love you. You rock. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being with me today. And yeah. You guys fill my heart. I'm so grateful that we are together. We get to do this. Have a great Friday.